School is the most important thing in your life. And while I hate school, I got a PhD. And I hate school. I hate everything about it. So somebody say, E, if you hate school so much, why you get a PhD? Because I hate school, but I love options. You can have average skill, but you can't have average will. You can't have average will. Like your will has to be phenomenal. You have to see basketball as the gateway. It's like a passport. Basketball is just your way to get in, and then once you get in, boom, then you dominate. So I'm telling you, you're not taking a test because they're giving you the test. You're taking a test that's about to change your life, your mama's life. And I know if you take the test serious, you'll kill it. When you go through your go-through, your siblings are watching you. When you go through your go-through, your friends are watching you. When you go through your go-through, your parents are watching you. And people will use your strength to get through their stuff.
Yo, what up? It's your boy, E.T. Welcome to another edition of freesummerschool.com. You heard what I said. freesummerschool.com. Knowledge is the new money. Get you some. Look, I'm trying to blow you up. I'm spending 90 straight days all summer before you go back to school. I'm trying to think of the 90 most important principles that I needed to transition from having that poverty mindset, right, to being a boss. Yep. Look, I say it with all humility, but we out here executing. We out here saying we're gonna do one thing, and we out here doing exactly that one thing we said we're gonna do, and then we trying to go into another arena and do two, right? So I'm trying to help you help you. You feel me? I'm trying to help you. So don't take this for granted. Like really sit down, listen, and with each principle, I want you to think about, okay, am I on the right side of that, the wrong side of that? And what steps do I need to take to get on the right side of it? All right. So I'm a little bit embarrassed today. I don't even know if I'm qualified to speak on this. You know, I have a board of advisors, right? And they help me with the topics, right? Now, most of the topics, I'm feeling them. This topic, I'm a little bit embarrassed because I don't know if I've mastered this one. This would take my wife to come on here and dog me out about this one. Like, boy, you know you ain't got – this one is listening. Some kind of way I thought God gave me 2 mouths and 1 ear. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how that happened. I know it's 2 ears, 1 mouth, but I did way more talking in my life than I ever did listening. And this is an important one because when I was at Michigan State University working on my master's degree, again, it's K through 12 with an emphasis in leadership. And this was across the board. Like this is a common theme with all the professors. Their thing was listen, because you can't solve a problem that you don't understand. Like you need to understand the root of the problem before you can address it. So they were like, you need to listen to every teacher that was involved, every student that was involved. Like you need to gather all data. You need to get all evidence. Like you need to be 100. I think of like first 48. They bringing everybody in first 48. They asking a million questions. Like you got to listen. And for a lot of us, we aren't successful because you talk too much. I remember that. You talk too much and you never shut up. I say you talk too much. You never shut up. And that was me. I talk too much. Mouth of the South. And not only did I talk too much, I didn't listen enough. Are you listening to what I'm saying? I didn't listen enough. So I'm telling you, if you could listen, B, give it to me, B. Give it to me. Let's just go there right now. Let's just go there right now. Watch this. The biggest communication problem is we do not listen. Look at the screen. We do not listen to understand. We listen to a reply. My wife probably be like, yep, she high five me on that one. Do the double Dutch, right? She do the stanky leg, right? Why? Because oftentimes in our communication, you know, we've been married over 30 years. That's what I was on. Like she's talking, but I'm not talking while she's talking, but I'm not talking so I can understand. I'm not talking so she could finish and hurry up so I could reply. You feel me? And so I need y'all to do me a favor. You can only talk about what you know. Listen to what I'm saying. You can only talk about what you know. You can't learn from talking. You can't learn. You can't solve problems. You can't make great decisions when you talk too much. You got to learn to shut up and listen. And so some of you are impulsive. You like it's like when grown people talking, you like Charlie Brown, wah, 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 wah. You don't hear nothing they saying. Or when a friend of yours is trying to give you some advice, wah, 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 wah. You don't listen. My grandma say you hard-headed. You don't listen. So I need y'all to listen. There's so much value. It must be if God gave us 2 ears. It must be important to listen. If he gave us 2, he only gave us 1 mouth. He could have had a mouth here and a mouth in the back. We could have been having 2 conversations at one time. Boy, would I love that. But he gave us 2 ears. Like, shut up, listen. I'm telling you, you might end up on your dream job just from listening. You might end up with the dream spouse, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, partner by listening. Like they might admire you just because you're a listener. Do you know there are some people that people love just because when they talk, they're not doing all that talking, they listening? Do you know coaches love when you listen and you follow through on the play that they told you to listen to? You know your teachers love when you listen to the instructions before you try to do the test or before you do your homework, you actually listen. Do you know there's value in listening? Do you know you got 2 ears? There's value in listening. All right, B, give it to me one more time. I got one more for y'all. I'm going to let y'all get out of here. Listen to me very closely. Listen to me very closely. Look at the screen. Look at the screen. The quieter you become, the more you can hear. The more you hear, the more you learn. The more you learn, the more you earn. I'm going to say it one more time. The quieter you become, the more you can hear. The more you can hear, the more you can learn. The more you learn, the more take that L off. Take that L off. Learn, take that L off. Earn. It's your boy ET. Small steps, great distances. Now you know. Let's go.
Welcome to Free Summer School. Knowledge is the new money. Get you some. Dr. Eric Thomas, E.T. the Hip Hop Preacher. I'm your host, Quincy Harris. Before we start, I want to just drop this on you. Students, you don't have as much time as you think. You just don't. Like I'll even say for y'all today, like I thought I had more time than what I thought I had. And sometimes when you're in 7th grade or 10th grade or 11th grade or 4th grade, you think you're going to be that age forever. But newsflash, you will be 30 one day. You will be 40 one day. You ever see your grandparents and they sit down and they say, like that will be you one day. So stop thinking you have more time than what you really have. Like really dedicate what you have to do right now to execute on your dreams for right now, for the future. You know what I mean? So E.T., today we are talking, this is important, about being a great listener. Dr. Eric Thomas, talk to us, brother.
I need to pass the mic. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not qualified to speak on this particular topic right here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just keeping it 100. This is not my strength. It's not my skill set. Especially younger, I listen to talk. You feel me? Like, I listen to talk. Like, go ahead and say hurry up and finish saying what you're going to say because I got something to say. You know what I'm saying? I ain't necessarily listening to what you saying so I can hear it, understand it, and then make a move on it. But as I get older, one of the things I'm starting to realize, and I learned this in the master's program. Of course, I was K through 12, and so they were preparing us to be school leaders. And one of the things that the common theme, the whole program, all the professors, was how can you solve a problem that you don't know? You know what I'm saying? That's what they think. Like, yo, you trying to solve a problem, you don't even know what the problem is. So you have to take enough time to really listen, to hear, to figure out, oh, there go the problem. All right, we could fix that. You feel me? What's the solution to that particular problem? So much later in life, and I still struggle with it, is listening so that I'm clear on what's being asked of me. But I do know it's a phenomenal skill set. It's like free throwing. You feel me? It's like getting, free throws. You're like, free throws. But the closer you get to the NBA championship or the road to the Final Four, all of a sudden free throws are meaningful. So it's one of those things where it's like, man, who want to do that? But it's so needed. So God gave us 2 ears, 1 mouth. I believe he did that so we could listen more than we talk. but I love talking. I don't love listening.
Yeah. Well, let's go to a great listener. Auntie Val. Auntie Val, talk to us about being a great listener.
Man, Q. So, what impacted me so much with the word listening was in school with the fire drill. And doing the fire drill, you can't hear directions if you're talking and running and screaming. So, one of the things we teach the kids during the fire drill is you have to be quiet so you can hear. You have to be quiet so you can hear, because if you get some guidance or some direction and you're not listening, you're going to run into the fire. And I think that applies to life itself. If you're not listening for the guidance and the direction, you're going to run into the fire. And sometimes we think that, oh, everybody going the same way. I'm walking with all the traffic. It's a fire drill. I'm exiting, but you can't hear. So, and that's the thing I just want to impress on the kids today. Like, think of life like a fire drill, not necessarily the drill part, but the fire. And you have to listen during the time that's so important. And a lot of times, like E said, I want to talk to be heard. Like I'm waiting on you to finish. Don't just pause and I'm in there. Just all you got to do is look like you about to pause and I'm coming in. And sometimes we sacrifice the experience by speaking too soon.
Deep. Let's go to Coach B. Talk to us, man, about being a great listener.
Yeah, it's funny, Q, because I almost have the opposite challenge that E has. I usually don't talk enough. I'm super introverted naturally. So listening is one of those things that comes easily to me. And I didn't recognize that at first. In fact, at first, when I was younger, I thought that was a bad thing because I was looking at all these other kids and they were so social and they're talking to other people all the time. And I thought I didn't fit in. I thought something was wrong with me, right? And later on in life, when I started coaching, I was probably 18, 19 years old. And I had a conversation with one of my athletes at the time. And she was probably 16, big conversation, probably 15, 20 minutes long, talking to me about all the different things that were going on in her life. My athletic career is going okay, but it's not where I want it to be. There's this thing going on with my parents. I don't know what college to go to. Like, it was real stuff. It was a heavy conversation. And at that time in my life, I was a little less socially adept than I would say I am now. And I literally couldn't think of what to say. Like, I didn't even know how to handle that situation. And so in 10 or 15 minute conversation, I may have offered 1 or 2 sentences worth of feedback, opinions, and advice. We finished that conversation and you would have thought I changed her life. She was like, I've never felt this heard before. You heard me out. You listened. I've never experienced that. Like, thank you so much for this conversation. And I'm sitting here like, I didn't even know what to say. I just didn't say anything. But the thing that I want people to get is sometimes that's all that it takes. Sometimes you don't have to give your opinion. Sometimes you don't have to fix the problem. Sometimes you don't have to do all that. Sometimes all people need is to just be heard. So if that comes naturally to you, don't think of that as a negative. Embrace that. Use it for good. But yeah, even if it doesn't come naturally to you, just understanding that you don't always have to do that much. Sometimes you just need to hear people out, and you never know how impactful that can be.
Nice. Let's go to Charles Terry Jr. Let's talk about it, brother. How being a great listener.
B, I wish I had that. I want half of what you got over there because your boy like to talk too. So I can't tell you. I'm a talker. We're gonna talk, just to talk. But here, I've learned that there's just as much value in wisdom and listening that there is in talking. And in the generation that we have now, we're in a fight to be heard. In a fight, I have a voice. Listen to me. I got rights. Stand up. Listen. In the social media world, we each have a platform. This little device right here gives me a voice to say what I want to say. I can go live when I want to go live. This is my opinion on it. No facts, no nothing. So just be mindful that even though you have the tools to have a voice, make sure that you're doing the proper research and the backing, that when you do speak, that you're speaking with facts and it's solid, and you're not just out there just throwing stuff out there just to be heard. So there's wisdom in listening just as much as there is in speaking.
Kale, talk to us, brother. Young gun. Oh, you're on mute, Kale. You're on. See, Kale, you're on mute. Dedicated to listening.
That was
giving fire.
But I'm sad nobody said it, man. You got 2 ears and 1 mouth, brother. Like, so you can listen twice as much as you speak. And I'm joining the talk squad with Charles Terry and ET. I'm joining the talk squad. I love to talk. Like, that's my thing. But man, I I love being around good people because they'll tell you about yourself when you need to hear it. And I remember CJ pulled me to the side. He was like, Kel, like, you know, I love you. You my brother, man. Like, I love your energy. I love how high energy you are. He like, sometimes you don't need to, you know, be the center of attention in every room that you in. Sometimes you don't need to, you know what I'm saying, always be the one talking and making conversation and kind of like be in the spotlight. Sometimes you could take a step back and chill and just listen to the room. Just let
Right.
the room breathe.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just let it breathe. And at first, like,
Agreed.
I was kind of defensive. I'm like, man, that's who I am. And then I was like, oh wow. Like, and then I had to learn to listen so that I could listen to learn. And I just remember being in rooms full of people that I wanted to serve, right? And without having to ask them, I would just overhear them or listen to them say something that would trigger something, an opportunity for me to serve. You know what I'm saying? Might hear somebody in the kitchen go be like, oh, these dishes, man. I'm like, oh no, I got those. You know what I'm saying? Just let me take care of the dishes in the kitchen. I got it. I know you're tired. I've been, you know what I'm saying, observing that you're tired. You don't want to really do this. So let me try to do that. So it's a lot of value in listening. There's a lot of learning that comes with listening, a lot of wisdom that just comes from listening. And it don't require that much energy. You know what I'm saying? That's the plus side. You know what I'm saying? You ain't even got to spend that much energy talking. You could just listen to the world around you and figure out your place in it.
Nice. Well, look, I'll say this about being a great listener. I get paid to talk, right? Like I've talked on the radio my entire life. I've talked on television. Like I'm a talker, right? So I'll give you guys a lesson. I literally, or why I started this new venture that I have. Like shameless plug. I have a podcast with my partner Fuzzy. It's called FAQ, Frequently Asked Questions with Fuzzy and Quincy. But the thing is, for me, the podcast is just an excuse to talk to successful people to learn from them, right? So literally, it's not about me talking, it's about me listening, right? So I'm gonna drop a name real quick. You know, some students may not know who this guy is, but last night we interviewed will.i.am from the Black Eyed Peas, right? And will.i.am, he's traveled the world. I mean, he has like 4 passports. And I literally just wanted to hear him talk, right? Like, what is will.i.am on, right? And he's successful. He's been able to go around the world. What is he on that maybe I'm not on? And the ironic thing with us talking to will.i.am, we talked to him for an hour on camera. We talked to him for an hour off the camera. And everything was based off of what we're telling you right here. It's about education, right? Like when we say knowledge is the new money, get you some, it really is. Right. Like, so he's really in the world of technology and empowering our students, especially in, the LA area, his Boyle Heights, East Los Angeles, to really get into technology and robotics. Right. And he's like, I'm doing this because I found out that when I was in these certain rooms, that people that look like him weren't in those rooms. So he's like, hey, what is the world going to be in 2030? Right? In the world in 2030, it's going to be certain jobs that are going to be obsolete. If you feel like you're going to grow up and maybe, I could just make some money being an Uber driver. Well, the Uber cars are going to be, driveless, right? They're going to be autonomous in a couple of years, right? So it's all this information that I got, right? That we're literally been saying to you for a couple of weeks now on here, that knowledge is the new money. I heard it from an international superstar last night, just from shutting up and listening. So there's power in education and listening, and everything that we're saying right here. Trust me, people who are super successful, people who are free to do whatever they want to do in their life, their basis is continuing educating themselves, continual education. So don't think you're going to do school and just be done. This is a continual thing. It's like eating and breathing. So this is what I learned from just listening. I know I talked a lot right there, but that's what I learned from listening, is just knowledge is the new money. E.
Get you some.
Yes.
Get you some. Hey guys, small steps. Listening is a small step. It doesn't cost anything. Small steps, great distances. Now you know. Let's go.